All right, we're going to start our meditation now. Let's just take whatever it is that brought you here today, and we're just going to put it aside. We're not going to forget it, we're just going to set it down. We're just going to start by taking a few very deep breaths. And with each breath, we bring ourselves closer to the center of the I am that you are. We recognize the one universal presence, and we recognize that it is within ourselves and that we are connected to it. There's nothing outside of this presence. As we are part of that divine nature, we will think about those things that we think about manifesting in our lives. And you may want to think about those things and just bring your focus to those things that you want to manifest. Just hold those for just a moment. And for those things, since we are connected and we are part of the divine fabric, those things that we think of, we realize that those things are in existence. And we bring them closer to us. And we don't even have to ask for it. It's already on its way to us right now. As we take deep breaths, we inhale with gratitude in our heart for all the blessings in this time of sacred stillness and silence. With this breath, we breathe in more gratitude, and in your own time, bring your attention and awareness back to this moment. You may want to feel your feet on the ground and open your eyes gently. And we speak the last word of gratitude, that we're fully present, fully refreshed, restored, and in this present moment now. This concludes the meditation for today. Namaste.
Thank you, David, for meditation. So from that quiet place, Think of the person next to you. And think, God loves you and I love you too. Whether they're next to you or anywhere else. Feel that love in the sanctuary, or in your home, or in your car, wherever you're listening to this from. And in your mind, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Got a little feedback, David. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. Come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love of each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel that love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. Come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let us make a joyful sound, 'cause here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound like hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing my best Elvis there. Hey, hey, yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is, come on, I can hear a few of you singing, come on. My soul is welcome, that's better. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. One more time. Beautiful good morning to y'all. Eileen.
Thank you, Al. Of course, that was wonderful and rousing and really getting us going. So I say good morning. I say good Super Bowl morning to everybody here. I imagine you all have got your barbecue ready to go when you get home, and all the chips and dips, and they're all ready. And any leftovers, bring them next Sunday. We'd love to have them. You know, it's always fun. But I say thank you to everyone joining us in our beautiful sanctuary, and to those who follow us on Facebook Live, watch remotely on YouTube, and all the ships at sea. My name is Eileen, and it is truly an honor and privilege to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. We are a New Thought spiritual community and all-inclusive to all the spiritual truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. We focus on the philosophy of science of mind, which was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer, the Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, who developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. We honor all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. If you are with us for the first time, please raise your hand. I know we have a lovely gentleman back there whose name is Josh. We are happy that you're with us here today. And so I say to you, we are delighted to have you all with us today. A gentle reminder to please silence your cell phones and put them in a secret place, okay? Again, welcome on this beautiful, beautiful day. It's just gorgeous out there, isn't it? And it's gorgeous in here.
Thank you, Eileen. So this is our centering music. Time to drop away anything that it took to get here today. Anything that might be weighing on you, don't worry about it, it'll still be there. So, this is about relationship. As I give, so will I receive. As I think, so will I believe. Things can seem so difficult and heavy on my mind. In that divine discontent, reach down deep and find from within to glow in the perfection. Feel the sweet connection and grow in the perfection. Oh, the sweet connection. From within and to the stars above, as I love, so will I be loved. Thank you.
That was so beautiful. I am happy now to be able to share Mark's opening prayer with you here today. And I invite you to breathe in with me to this present moment. Let's take a deep inhalation and a long and deliberate exhalation. As we breathe, we are reminded that the power and presence and love of God, Spirit, universal intelligence, is here and now in this place, in this space. It is in me, it is in you. This divine source energy is the truth of me, and this universal, unconditionally loving intelligence is the truth of you. Where I am, God is. Where you are, Spirit lives. It is from this place of unification that I speak my word, blessing today's service. Music, guest speaker, Yankee today, and everyone participating in this service. David, our mixer, the Board of Trustees, and all of you who watch faithfully both in person and remotely online. I know that every word that needs to be heard is received in an uplifting way to manifest for each person's individual and all of our collective highest good. I let it be so now, and I invite you to breathe in again with a heart filled with gratitude. I release my words to the law of life, which is always responds affirmatively, yes. And I let it be. And I invite you to say together with me, and so it is. Amen. And in honor of Valentine's Day, I am going to read, because I love this, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 13. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part now, and we prophesy in part. But when completedness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now it remains these three: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And I say, so it is now and forevermore shall be, and together we say, and so it shall be. I believe that a reading is happening right now. Welcome, I'm Eileen, yet again. This is a lovely reading. You're going to love it. Imagine if we measured success, not by how loudly we conquered the world, but by how softly people could land in our presence. If the true measure of a life well lived was the amount of safety others felt when they came close to us, how their shoulders eased, how their breath slowed, how their truths felt a little less heavy because they knew we would hold them gently. Imagine if success meant being the kind of person whose presence feels like a warm room in winter, where no one has to hide trembling of their hands or the uncertainty in their voice, where being human, messy, hopeful, hurting, healing is not something to be judged, but something to be honored. When we celebrated the quiet victories, what if we did that then? The moments we softened someone's loneliness, the times we listened without trying to fix, the ways we helped someone feel seen without demanding they shrink or sparkle. We would stop asking, what have you achieved? And start asking, who feels safer because you exist? And maybe then we'd realize that the gentlest people, those who make space for others to exhale, are the real architects of a better world. Their greatness doesn't announce itself. It's felt in the way hearts unclench around them, in the way people leave their presence a little more whole than when they arrived. If safety were our success metric, kindness would be our currency. Empathy would be our legacy. And the softest souls would finally be recognized for the strength it took to remain soft in a world that so often forgets the value of gentleness. What a different world that would be. What a different world we would create, starting with how we choose to show up for one another this very day. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. So you've got some lyrics that just popped up on the screen. A few of you may have heard this song before, but I'm going to assume that nobody has, and I'm going to teach it to you because it's a little bit of a sing-along, at least the chorus there, which you can see is just 4 short lines, but it's preceded by ooh. Ooh. Can I hear an ooh? Ooh. So I'll teach you the ooh first. I'll do it, then you repeat it after me. Ooh. Can you do that? Ooh. Nice. There'll be many opportunities to repeat it. The first line. There is no separation. Can I hear that? There is no separation. Nice. We connect in harmony. Nice. With one singular creation. So it is, so let it be. So let it be. You got it. Here we go. Ooh. There is no separation. We connect in harmony with one singular creation. So it is. There's a light that shines above us, and in everything we see, in the eyes of those who love us, and in those who disagree, it belies a higher power. You can find it all around in the fragrance of a flower, in a feeling or a sound like ooh, ooh, ooh. That's God right there. There is no separation. We connect in harmony with one singular creation. So it is, so let it be. So let's lose our expectations and set our spirits free, knowing there's no separation. I am you and you are me, where we finally discover what was right there all the time. Life is love, and we're all lovers. I am yours and you are mine. Ooh, ooh. Isn't that what lovers say? Ooh. There is no separation. We connect in harmony with one singular creation. So it is, so let it be. So it is, so let it be. One more ooh. Ooh. Then we take it home. Ooh. All right, now I get to go over here. David, do I have that clicker? Perfect. Thank you. And here we go. So, before I start this presentation, okay, there we go. Yeah, you might want to turn that one off. Yeah. This is not the first time I've actually given this particular presentation. I've given it several times at other centers for spiritual living over the years, but it's been probably 10 years since I did this one. So it was fun to revisit it. Some of these truths remain, but something happened this morning that I just I'm going to share it with you at the risk of you thinking that I'm insane. Yeah. So some of you know that some of you knew my wife Barbara, and she was a very powerful, spiritual, artistic person, a real joy to have in my life for so many years. I was married to her for 20 years, but I knew her for 50 years, and she passed a couple of years ago. And I say that because she has never really left, and that's the part where you might think I'm insane, just depending on your own feelings about what passing means and how that is. And that's fine. I don't really care if you think I'm insane. She has, ever since transitioning, she has still made her presence known. And it's not something I generally tell people. In fact, I've only shared it with one other person because I knew he had had similar experiences with his wife who had transitioned. But she's, like I said, she's a powerful spiritual person. She was a practitioner lead and actually ran the church over in Riverside for a few years.
And a lot of people, have wonderful things to say about her. Well, she, early on after she transitioned, she, it was like, okay, babe, I get you're here. The most common manifestation is a change in smell. Sometimes I could smell her, or the very first time, I actually looked it up because I thought it might be her, and I looked up, does spirit smell like toast? And it came right up, yeah, it does. So that's the most common way she appears to me. And the scent varies. That's interesting, depending with, I think, whatever's going on. But she has actually manifested in other ways, and some of them are kind of poltergeist-like, And I say this, if you don't want to come to my house now, I understand, and that's fine. But she's operated things or moved things, and the latest one was just this morning when I was not expecting it. I was actually standing, shaving in the mirror, getting ready to come here today. And in the shower behind me, if some of you have in the shower, there's that little nook where you put shampoo or whatever. And there was a little brush in there, a hand brush, one of those things where you clean your fingernails and all that. And it got knocked to the floor somehow, very loudly. No reason for that at all. I mean, it had to be moved probably 2 or 3 inches for that to happen. And I went, what? Oh, hi, babe. And right outside, in the hallway outside the bathroom, there's one of those Nest thermostats. I don't know if you've seen those. They're smart. And it comes on. And when you walk up to it, it'll tell you like what the settings are. It'll sense you. It's got a little motion sensor. But a lot of times I have to get up there and I have to wave my hands to get it to come on to tell me like what the settings are and all that. And above that is a picture of Barbara, a lovely picture of her smiling at a little day trip we took once. And so I looked over, and a lot of times I'll just say hi, babe, or good morning to the picture. And I looked over and I said, I hear you, babe, and the Nest thermostat came on. And I'm a good 10 feet away from it. I went, oh, now you're showing off, So I think because the last time I gave and I'm going, okay, I get it. The last time I gave this talk, I was actually doing it at her behest, filling in for, I told you about my friend whose wife had passed. I was actually filling in for his wife, who was a minister, who was ill. And, so I'm thinking, okay, you're just letting me know that you got my back, but I don't really need that. So I'm thinking that maybe somebody here in the room or somebody watching online needs to hear something I'm going to say today. And so I hope that that's true. I hope that there's something of benefit for you. So today's talk is about, it's titled It's All One. It's really got some science and some spirituality in it. That last bit was very spiritual. So let's get to a little science here. I'd like to talk about perception, how we understand what goes on inside of us and in the world around us, the methods and the techniques for that. It's important because we move through the world and we think we know what's going on. We think we've got a clue. Do you? One key to understanding our perceptions is to examine where they start, how we get the information that we have, and the limits of those processes, acknowledging that. There are impediments that are sort of built in to our abilities to bring in information, and we need to acknowledge the margins of our organic reality. We have evolved to survive in a particular set of circumstances within the confines of our physical world. And because of this, our senses are tuned to that. For instance, the one I know a lot about as a musician is hearing. And one thing that always surprises people is that our hearing is tuned in, it's not surprising once you think about it, is tuned in to the human voice. It's important. I say, isn't it important for a 4-year-old to be able to tell really minor changes in their mother's voice? There's a difference between, it's time to come in the house, dear, to get in the house, right? We all know that. And so the minor changes in the human voice is it's a survival thing. If you can't tell that stuff, you're not going to live. You're going to put yourself in danger and not even realize it. If you can't tell when somebody's moving towards anger with you or somebody's being threatening. So our ears are tuned to those frequencies. And interestingly enough, all of our musical instruments, the piano over here, built around the middle note is middle C on the piano, and that's the absolute middle of the human vocal range, and that's why it is what it is. So the piano, you might not think about, is built around the human voice. All of the musical instruments are built around the human voice. Even those that are extensions of it, we think of those as the weird, funny ones, the piccolo and the tuba and all those things. The ones that are at the extremes are the oddball ones. Same thing with our sight. We have, let me finish up about the voice. There are sounds we can't hear. We all know that, for instance, the dog whistle thing, right? Dogs can hear sounds that we can't hear. As we age, and many of us are aging, our hearing range decreases. I get that proven to me all the time. There are sounds that are so low we can't hear them, that they sound just like a rumble, as opposed to a tone. And so that's the limits of our hearing. Our sight, also based on kind of frequencies of light, traveling as a wave, like a sound wave does. There's colors we can see, there's colors we can't see. Ultraviolet and infrared colors. We use those all the time in science, and the frequency range beyond that. And the same with our sense of feeling. Have you ever touched something that was probably damaging to you, maybe really hot or really cold? Don't leave your finger there, right? Don't touch the stove or the frozen object, the really cold object. But if you think about it, the sense of it in that moment that you're touching it kind of overloads your nervous system. And the difference between super hot and super cold is you really can't tell. All you're really sensing is damage, right? So, and it's that way with all of our senses. So if you just acknowledge that, which is really easy to acknowledge, then you acknowledge that there's stuff going on around you all the time you can't tell. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't feel it, you can't hear it, right? That's not tough. So you can measure that against what I call our brethren creatures, our biological relatives who evolved here alongside of us. Dogs can smell more, and different animals can hear and see things that we can't, and we examine that. Scientists and botanists and biologists love to examine that. One thing that we have as humans that we share maybe with other animals, but we're not so keen on being able to tell, is our self-awareness. Also our abilities to speak, to think abstractly, to project ourselves and in our imaginations through space, through time. These are all byproducts of our peculiar evolution, and they're very strong abilities. Lucky us, yeah, maybe? Because we can envision stuff that doesn't exist. We could make stuff up. We can create some pretty wonderful and some pretty awful stuff. We create these fictions, these things that don't exist, and then we can worry about them. Fret that they might come true, or that they might not come true. With our powerful imaginations, we can and do fool ourselves easily and often. So we've got these limited abilities to bring in information, powerful abilities to manipulate that partial information we have. And we can combine these in new ways constantly. But there's something else to consider. It's ourselves, our thoughts, the product of all this, our preconceptions, our judgments, our paradigms, if you will. Now, we need paradigms to be able to operate in the world, or we'd be so wildly inefficient we couldn't get through the day. We would need to constantly rediscover everything around us. Well, that would slow things down, might even affect our ability to survive. So, on the other hand, haven't you ever thought you really knew somebody or something, you really, you're secure in this. This is easy. And then it turns out that you're wrong. Have you ever had that experience? I'm sure everybody has. Maybe there's a change you didn't notice, or maybe you were mistaken or just didn't have all the information in the first place. Surprise! You thought you knew your world, and it's now upside down. So there's so many ways that we misinterpret information, misread each other, have our plans overtaken by something unexpected, just by the way we are. It's human. Can we be a little bit better at this? Can we get out of our own way and improve our abilities to perceive and understand? So there are a few ways that might be helpful. I have here something that might illustrate that. So it's a little thing put together, a little reading, I guess, put together by a 14-year-old girl. And it's called "Today Was the Absolute Worst Day Ever." Does that something like a 14-year-old girl might say? Okay, so here it goes. Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day, because when you take a closer look, the world can be a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good just exists. The reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day. That's pretty darn negative. What if we turn it around? Start at the end. Today was a good day, and you'll never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. It's not true that good just exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and heart, and it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through, even if the world can be a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. There are some pretty smart 14-year-olds out there. So that's a clever and potent way of demonstrating that our point of view, our paradigm, our preconceptions about the way things are, in air quotes, can be 180 degrees off, wholly incorrect, and yet still seems to hold together. Just because something is logical or exhibits an internal consistency doesn't mean it's so. But we can and do fool ourselves, moving full steam ahead, armed with partial knowledge and a sense of purpose. You ever hear that saying, "He knows just enough to be dangerous"? Jiddu Krishnamurti offers some profound ideas about our abilities to perceive. For those of you who don't know who that guy is, he was discovered in India by the British Theosophical Society in 1909. They were grooming him to be what they thought of as the next world teacher, somebody like a Jesus or a Buddha. And their leader, Annie Besant, was in charge of that. He was visiting Ojai, California in 1922 when he had a prolonged, what he called a spiritual experience, a period of insight, and it marked a significant change in his worldview. This culminated in his removing himself from the Theosophical Society in 1929. And what I'd like to read you is from his statements to the Theosophical Society World Convention, where he was saying, thanks but no thanks. This is pretty cool stuff. Truth is a pathless land. Man cannot come to it through any organization, through any creed, through any dogma, through any priest or ritual, not through any philosophical knowledge or psychological technique. He has to find it through the mirror of relationship, through the understanding of the contents of his own mind, through observation, and not through intellectual analysis or introspective dissection. Man has built, this is what I've been talking about, man has built in himself images as a fence of security, religious, political, personal. These manifest as symbols, as ideas and beliefs. The burden of these dominate man's thinking, his relationships, his daily life. These are the causes of our problems, for they divide us. They divide person from person in every relationship. His perception of life is shaped by the concepts already established in his mind. The contents of his consciousness is this consciousness. This content is common to all humanity. The individuality is in the name, the form, and the superficial culture he acquires from his environment. The uniqueness of the individual does not lie in this superficiality, but in the total freedom from the content of consciousness. This might be new to some of you. Freedom is not a reaction. Freedom is not choice. It's man's pretense that because he has choice, he is free. Freedom is pure observation without direction, without fear of punishment, without thought of reward. Freedom is without motive. Freedom is not at the end of evolution of man, but lies in the first step of his existence. In observation, one begins to discover the lack of freedom. Freedom is found in choiceless awareness, the choiceless awareness of our everyday existence. So that's what Krishnamurti had to say about that. Personally, I think that's one of the greatest things ever written. I'm glad at least a couple of you agree. Right up there with the best of them. I also find in Krishnamurti much in common with Ernest Holmes. They're from the same generation, only born a few years apart, and they both spent most of their lives here in Southern California. Neither of them also was interested in creating new dogmatic institutions to compete with the old ones and to quote them and say the great things they said, but in both cases that sort of happened. Krishnamurti is less cuddly than Ernest Holmes, and he's more demanding, so he's not for everybody. But I think the two of them make great bookends to modern New Thought ideas. I have another little exercise I'd like to do with you that kind of hits home with me, if you will let me. It's called Art is Pointless. So it's another one about having some of the information. Art is pointless. You have to go out, get an actual job, and make a living. Don't just let the rest of your life be a joke, a failure. So many of us who are in the arts have heard this from well-meaning folks. You'll end up a starving artist. Contribute to society instead of wasting time. You're worthless. Aw. Well, what if that's just part of the information? Maybe true enough on its own or seeming to be logical, have its own inner consistency? Let's add the missing information. Art is pointless without passion. You have to go out into the world and get an actual job doing what you love and make a living by being yourself. Don't just let other people define the rest of your life. Saying you will be a joke, a failure. Follow your heart. You will end up happy and free, not a starving artist. Create your art and contribute to society by inspiring people instead of wasting time letting others tell you you're worthless. You can change the world. Yeah. So that, again, another way to illustrate how we can make sense of incomplete information, be logically coherent, internally consistent, and miss the point entirely. How human of us. Thinking that the world is flat and that it's the center of the universe makes perfect sense based on casual observation. It looks like that. Yet, I don't know if anybody in here are flat earthers. No? No takers. Oh, okay. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. People used to think tomatoes are poisonous because people got sick or died after eating them, but it was really just the plates they were on. They used to think that flies were created by rotting meat because that's where they showed up. All of this is logical and consistent and repeatable. Once we realize and really grok that we don't have all the information, and that nobody ever has had all the information, it becomes much easier to forgive others for their bad behaviors, assuming that they're just ignorant, have the best of intentions but are ignorant. And it's also very humbling, making it much easier to say, I don't know. That can be the hardest. Sometimes that's harder to say than I'm sorry. I don't know. Because what? We appear ignorant? Guess what? We're all ignorant. Always have been. Welcome to the club. Sometimes it's even fun. Do you remember those Matthew McConaughey Lincoln commercials? Remember those? He was always driving alone, usually at night. That's because he's a loner, right? He's his own man. He goes his own way. That's very appealing to men and women. It appeals to men because it's empowering to identify with him. It appeals to women because he's an attractive guy and a thoughtful guy in a nice, new, powerful car. What's not to like about that? And he's always saying kind of cool things like, it's not about, and then he would say Phil, and then it'd be Phil, it's not about this. It's not about. In one of them he says, it's not about being green, but it's not about being wasteful either. Let's look at that for a second. Talking about what something is not about and then saying it's not about the opposite of that thing, it's an artful way of saying something while at the same time being so vague as to not challenge anyone, allowing every viewer to feel totally comfortable. Those commercials are genius. It's amazing that someone like Matthew McConaughey can appear to capture the American sense of rugged individualism and rebelliousness while at the same time saying something so utterly non-individualistic and non-threatening. You can easily identify and agree with him because he's so cool and the level of commitment is so low. It kind of makes me want to go buy a Lincoln, though. Okay, here's a little exercise. I don't have a screen for this one. It kind of goes off the title of the talk. I'm going to ask you just if you can. You've heard people say it's all or it's all about so many things. Can anybody tell me it's all fill in the blank? Money. It's all money. It's all what? It's all a bummer. It's all good, yes. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Any others come to mind? I got a little list here, and I think all of those were on the list. It's all good. It's all good. It's all about me. Yeah, nice. That's all those are on here. It's all you. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind, right? It's all that matters. The next one's all about me. It's all about you. It's all about love. It's all about to change. It's all about the shoes. It's all about the bass. It's all about the money. Here it is. It's all about Jesus. It's all happening. It's all going on, man. It's all fun and games. It's all make-believe. It's all just pretend. It's all over now. It's all right. That was good. It's all good. Yeah. Am I the only one that's bothered by all this conceptual abuse of it's all? This stuff can drive me crazy because I'm kind of a literal guy. But first we got the word it, which might possibly be the vaguest word in the English language. It sounds so definite, yet is obviously so flexible as to eventually mean anything or nothing. So we've got it, then we got is, which is simple enough, a short word indicating that something exists. And finally we have all. And all is an absolute term. I rather like all because of that. All leaves nothing out, is the entirety, is infinitely inclusive in a way that really no other word is. Even the word everything, which is probably the closest synonym, limits itself to things. Everything. What about the no things? What about the things that we haven't named or don't see or are not in our awareness? So everything, it becomes really a matter of opinion. What is everything? Where all is an absolute term. Sometimes we limit all by saying all and then adding limitations to it, like all of the apples in the refrigerator without spots. That's perfectly okay, but if we just leave it alone, all is maybe the greatest word? I don't know. So we combine these terms, the supremely vague and indefinite it, the unflinchingly absolute all, and then somehow feel emboldened to complete this with anything and everything that we feel like. If it's really all about the shoes, I don't see much purpose in going on. If it's all over now, then nobody would be around to be making this statement. I think you see the point. These statements can serve different purposes, but taken literally, they are at best incorrect and at worst misleading or meaningless, except for one of them. Which one do you think? Pardon? Love. Very close. Very close. It's all one, is my one today. I've got a paragraph here about it's all good, but that may hit close to home here, so I'm going to skip that paragraph. There's a basic tenet of the Tao Te Ching that I want to bring up here, though we've been studying the Tao Te Ching, and this is from chapter 2. When the world knows beauty as beauty, ugliness arises. When it knows good as good, evil arises. Thus, being and non-being produce each other. Difficult and easy bring about each other, long and short reveal each other, high and low support each other, front and back follow each other. The point is that the perception of a quality, like good, must always be accompanied by that which is in contrast to it. The contrast is inferred even if it's not stated. You can't have one without the other because they exist in contrast to each other. It also goes to how we learn about things. We learn through comparison, how one thing is similar to or different from another. So if we have a concept of beauty, it's in contrast to that which we judge to be ugly. Difficult's accompanied by easy, and you get it. Michael Beckwith, you might have heard me say this before, put it very succinctly. He says, that which you resist, like ugliness or evil or whatever, persists, even with the best of intentions. So, I know a lot of folks here like to say it's all good. I could be a Grinch and just leave it there, but that's not very nice, and I want to be nice. So may I offer an alternative? How do you feel about it's all one? The beauty of this great and simple statement is that it subverts this idea of this and that, these opposites that have to go with each other, and mashes them all together. It's all one. So the good goes with the evil, the ugliness goes with the beauty, etc., etc., etc. The various and the singular, the multiple and the unified, the all and the one. I know it might seem airy-fairy. Anybody ever accused you of that? Woo-woo, have you heard that one? To your friends the first time you say it, if you say it's all one. Well, you don't ever have to say it if you don't want to. In fact, staying quiet always makes you appear smarter and wiser than you probably are. But if you choose to say it, it will be an actual affirmation of unity without any judgment, as Krishnamurti says, about any part of that unity. And when we can withhold judgments or condemnations or any kind of evaluations at all, we dissolve so many of the problems that we create for ourselves. So here are the takeaways. Our abilities to perceive the world are limited by our biology. Our thoughts and imaginations can be mundane, wonderful, or terrible, but are never entirely accurate. Our preconceptions help us move through the world, but they're always based on limited information coupled with a powerful imagination, so they're not reliable. Our perceptions of a quality always contain the opposite of that quality, so when you're trying to affirm a quality, you're actually affirming its opposite. Losing our preconceptions is the beginning of freedom. Freedom lies in choiceless awareness. One powerful way to lose preconceptions and emphasize absolute unity is through the saying, "It's all one." So don't be afraid to be humble, to lose your opinions, to lose your judgments, to emphasize absolute unity over your individuality. There's no biological need for most of what we think, 99% of it maybe. It would be fine with less buzzing going on between your ears. Saying it's all one is a great first step in this direction. Meditation is also a great tool for quieting our overactive minds. Gently examining our thoughts through meditation can help us bring about what Krishnamurti talks about with this choiceless awareness. So now I'd like to give you a few quotes from both Krishnamurti and Ernest Holmes on the same subject so you can see how they compare. One idea of we create our own reality. You've heard versions of that many times. Krishnamurti says, "You are everything, and to understand is to transform what is." Ernest Holmes says, "My thought is in control of my experience." Two different takes on the same thing. There's nothing to fear, no thing to fear. Krishnamurti says, if we can really understand the problem, then the answer will come out of it because the answer is not separate from the problem. Sit with the problem. Ernest Holmes says, in his much more cuddly way, life is an eternal givingness, the offering of the cosmic self to the joy of its own fulfillment. We are a part of this joy, and we find fulfillment only as this joy passes through us to others, which is echoing what Krishnamurti said about we only know ourselves in relationship. Everything moves in circles. So these guys are saying the same stuff, just in their own way. We are part of everything. It's all one. Krishnamurti says there's no end to relationship. There may be the end of a particular relationship, but relationship itself can never end. To be is to be related. Another way of saying it's all one. Ernest Holmes says, I'm guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination that scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. He really is a good poet. The energy of connection is love, as Rosemary so aptly put it. Krishnamurti says, it's love alone that leads us to right action. What brings order in the world is to love and let love do what it will. What Ernest Holmes says is love is the greatest power in the universe. It's the basis and the source of everything. So there you have it. It's all one. It's all one. Say it with me. It's all one. Thank you. So we have a musical reprise. What's that? Or Rosemary? Yes.
I also had a awareness this morning.
It's on.
And I have to tell you that I'm doing work on this. But I realized when I woke up this morning that this work has brought me to realize that regardless of the obstacles or hurts, and the broken hearts and the grief and the resentment and the physical ailments and blah, 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 I'm still here.
Yeah.
And that all of those things have led me to right here, right now, including realizing that the veil is very thin. The closer you are to humanity. And many of us experience the broken heart and the betrayals and the disappointments. But you're still here. And you still want to be here. And you still want to do good in this world. And if those things hadn't have happened, if the things that have happened to me hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And the other thing I've been realizing these last few days is, you hear people talk about unity. What are we going through? Oh, it's about unity. Well, this is unity, right? But it's much more than that that's going on in this world. It's about humanity. Minneapolis thinks it's unified, but what are they doing? They're doing what we all should be doing because they've realized it's about humanity. Not just about their city, not just about Minneapolis. It's about the people. And we're all there experiencing different things at different times. Why are the monks walking across the United States or the world? They're trying to rise us to see that it's about all of us and it's about humanity, not just about unity. Yes, we have to come together, but then we have to spread out, right? That's big, right? Because you think, oh my God, humanity is such a huge platform, but it isn't. You can show humanity in some way every day. Everything you offer to someone, everything that you say to soothe someone's bad day. But if you don't really have to look that far. You don't care
No, in
whether
fact, we
it's
can all-
black or white or yellow or red. Do you only talk to white people? Do you only talk to Indians? I mean, that's unity, That's not humanity. Oh.
Thank you, Rosemary. One more time with me. When I wrote this, I really wanted to write a song with an ooh in it. Too many lyrics, Ooh is like Om. One more time. Ooh. David, could you put up the offering? And if we could have Usher. Oh, we got Phil. If you could read the offering affirmation with me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world. David. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. So it is. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. And thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. You are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. So Eileen, if you've got the announcements. Phil, if you'll just pass your hands over that and bless the offering. Thank you.
Thank you all. And thank you so much, Al. That was a wonderful lesson service today. Thank you. Well, in my infinite wisdom, I somehow forgot to print out the announcements, so I'm going to kind of jerry-rig the ones that we have in our bulletin here. So just bear with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. February 10th, this is Tuesday, there is the Breath of Life workshop that's led by one of our practitioners at our sister centers in Ukraine. It is going to be quite lovely, I am told, so check it out. February 20th is the Inland Empire Almanac led by Phil right here, and that's always a heck of a lot of fun.
Great show shaping up.
There it is.
88-year-old poet coming back.
Very good.
Trips to the, have his blood treated. Yeah, he's going to come.
What he said. Okay, perfect. March 14th is the Metaphysical Fair and Shopping Bazaar, and that is on a Saturday, and it's from 11 to 4. You really want to come. It's a lot of fun. It's right here in the sanctuary, and we have wonderful readers and healers. And I say to anybody on YouTube or Facebook or anybody here, if you are a reader or a healer and would like to take part in our metaphysical fair, please get in touch with me. I would love to sign you up. Let me see. On the third Monday, we have the Tao Te Ching that is from 6 to 9 p.m. here in the sanctuary, and that is facilitated by Jim Crump. Let me see here now, scribbling over this way. Oh, I said that. There is a concert being held here on March 28th. What is the name of that? Do you know?
It's a couple that go by Living Love, I think is what they
That's
call,
it,
call
Living Love.
themselves. And they perform at spiritual living centers in Southern Oregon and Northern California. They're traveling through, so we snagged them to come and give a concert here. More later.
Okay, and then on, you see the dates. If you look at the piece in Ukraine, there are dates that are shown there. If you've never joined that Zoom, we have a link. We always have a link in our e-blast, and check it out, because you are going to take part in a meditation with people from around the world at the same time. At the same time. It's amazing to know that we're sitting right here meditating with dear people in Ukraine or whatever, wherever they are from. And it is quite wonderful. So check it out. It's a great experience. See how earnest I am? Get it? Okay, here we go. Now, oh, one more thing I want to say. On the back table, Shizui has created some beautiful little bouquets for us. So you're invited to take one home with you and enjoy that. Now, we don't normally have a benediction, but I found something that I want to send you off into your week with. As we stand at the threshold of this new week, may you find a quiet peace that settles over every situation you meet. May the simple tasks of your day be touched with a gentle joy, turning the ordinary into a small miracle. Take comfort in the deep knowledge that you are cherished, held in the love of the divine, and wrapped in the warmth of your family and friends. You are never walking this path alone. Today is a fresh beginning, a sacred gift waiting to be opened. I invite you to embrace it fully with your whole heart and your entire soul. Let go of what was and step into the light of what can be. May your week be a journey blessed with a constant hope, a steady peace, and a love that knows no bounds. And now I invite you to rise, if you choose, for our closing song. And thank you so much for being here on this incredible day.
And if you got shakers, shake 'em. I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spent my days in quiet desperation. More shaking, please. But on the outside, things look good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Oh, why did it take so many years? Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation, no matter what it looks like. No separation, no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone away. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. Every possibility's wide open. I embrace them with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am dancing through my life wide open. I am future waiting there wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open, wide open, wide open. There's goodies in the back.